Every trader loves trading gold because of the big moves, but long term, a trader will usually fail because of the lack of being inconsistent. And this is why I stopped trading gold to scale a small account and started trading these 3 different assets that can help grow your account consistently, faster, and actually prints money and get you actual payouts and or withdrawals depending on your situation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight to it. See, with gold, you can make really good money short term. And I mean short term meaning that you're consistently getting money within the first couple of weeks and maybe even the month. It is very inconsistent for a trader, especially that don't understand fake outs. And the thing about gold is fake outs happen. You can over leverage your account. And of course, spreads can get extremely high. So you as being a trader, the question is, what do I trade instead? Here are 3 markets that grow faster with less stress and way more consistency. The first one is going to be the Wall Street beast that I like to call, which is US 30, Dow Jones. Now, the psychology behind this is US 30 is one of the most aggressive indices. It thrives on liquidity grabs at the US cash opening hours, which I will explain that in a bit. Most traders lose here because they either enter too early or they hold it too long. The golden concept here is this is built for scalpers who can control emotions and manage volatility. How do we trade US 30? First, we want to start off by knowing what sessions to actually lock in on. 9:20 to 9:45 a.m. Eastern time is the hidden window before the 9:30 bell. Why is this? Well, if you look here, this is the setup that we had caught last week that actually made me $20,000 just from this simple trade. And the reason being is because we seen equal highs, swept the liquidity, went down, came back up, and it went down. But this isn't even really the strategy that we care for. This is just one of many. So this time frame really does a lot, and you don't need to hold this trade out, especially if you're holding it out after hours. The trigger, watch pre-market range, which will either be the high or the lows from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern time. US 30 loves to sweep one side of the range before taking off in the opposite direction. That is literally what I just showed you guys in that concept of a strategy that we use to trade US 30 to make us really good bank. This is really good for those that want to scale and consistently grow an account. Now, the confirmation after sweep, wait for it to pull 44% within the fib retracement into a valid POI level known as a supply demand or an imbalance level. And then entry will only be a power candle known as an engulfing candle that crosses beyond the 9 EMA. Now for the confluences, here's a couple things we need to consider. Pre-market range sweeps, fib retracement needs to be aligned within the 44% to the 618 zone level. We need a strong momentum candle with a volume spike move. And then we also need to align it with the New York opening volatility. That is the golden hour to look for entries. As far as the exit model, it needs to secure at least 20 to 30 points to scalp. You don't need nothing more than that. If you want it to run further on, you let it run to the Fibonacci retracement, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. That has an expansion tool to 0, which is the negative 0.618. This is going to help you know what valid level that this market is going to pull to before it reverses. And then stop trading after 10:15 if you're in the trade and you're riding past 10:15 and you're still waiting on it to come to this level of the fibs. That is absolutely fine. You only want to be looking for the entry roughly around this time. If you're in the trade after, that is fine. So when you're drawing out your fibs, the golden thing here is you need to understand where to draw them. The best place to figure this out is knowing what is a swing high and a swing low. Any time frame you can look for a swing high and swing low. After we establish that liquidity has been swept based off the equal highs, because remember, we're looking for this around 7 to 9, and this happened at 4 going up until 7:30 a.m. So I'm gonna draw my fibs from this swing to this swing, and anything above my 44% mark is a valid POI level. Once again, POI level is considered imbalance and or supply demand. Now let me give you guys my settings that you can use so you can have this exact same chart on your fibs. And this is what it is here. You can pause the video if you want to see more of that. But other than that, the extension that you want this to extend to is that negative 0.618. That is the level that we even wanted market to extend with this one that made us the 20,000. Now you understand how this works. Let's talk about the second one that's going to make you even more money if traded right. And that is going to be the intraday sprinter, which is GBP yen. A lot of y'all might know about this one, but I'm going to really plug you in the right way. GBP yen is a currency pair built for speed. It reacts violently during sessions overlapping, London plus New York. Most traders actually get faked out by its sharp wicks, and that's probably why a lot don't like it. But if you let it sweep liquidity first by being patient, it gives some of the most cleanest 3 type of wave moves ever. And that's something that I talk about a lot in my channel about how to trade the wave theory that we usually talk about, so you can get in at the right time and not get in too early or even not get in too late. Now, how do we trade this? 2 ways to trade it. London breakout, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern time. New York continuation is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time. The reason why I like this one the most out of all the others is because it gives you 2 sessions to really capitalize off of this, and the volatility is crazy. Now, the trigger of how we want to look for entry is identify the London sessions high or low, and if you're going to be trading during London, then you need to look at the Tokyo session high and low. GJ will usually sweep one side of the range before it creates its real move. The confirmation, retrace into the 44 or the 618 fib POI zone. This is where you guys should only be looking for valid POI levels. If you are a trader that have a shit ton of different support, resistance, supply, demand, or all of the above, and that is what you're going to consider a valid POI level. After that, you want to look for your engulfing candle, known as the power candle, that closes above or below the 9 EMA. For the confluences, you want to use the session box range, which is going to help you know the overlapping time. If you don't know what that is, it is a free indicator on TradingView. You come to indicators at the top, but you cannot see, and you literally put in trading sessions. And it's going to give you quite a few, but you go with the first one here, and then you just keep it how it is. You see, it gives you London, Tokyo, and New York. And then as you see, this is the overlapping that I'm talking about. That is what you will want to help you identify, as it helps me. And then the fib retracement levels, that is your other confluence. Market structure breaks, and then wick rejections in the liquidity pool, which will be the wick rejections going inside of the supply or the demand, or known as the POI zones. That is only happening in this area of the fibs. That is all what you're going to be paying attention to. Now, other than that, the exit model here is going to be target 20 pips is all you need to 40 pips. If the trend is strong, which it usually is, you can extend it to the negative 0.618, which will make it about 60 to 100 pip move. Guys, the goal here is to consistently get rewarded. You're not here to catch the biggest move ever, and that's why 90% of traders still lack in trading, because you're too worried about gold and the big spikes and not worried about consistency. This is why I trade oil, and I talk about oil faithfully, because I know oil isn't like gold, but it's consistent. If it moves one way, it's going to stay that way, but it is slower than gold. Now let's talk about my favorite one, which is the steady paycheck US oil. US oil is precise and is consistent, unlike gold, which fake outs consistently happens. Oil tends to respect New York open liquidity sweeps and structure retracement. It is slower, yes, but it gives traders a steady paycheck, like a regular 9-to-5 job that you know you're guaranteed to get paid every week or every bi-week. Here's my account that I have with GateFX, which is the broker we do use to make these trades. And for those that need a broker to actually scale an account, whether if it's small or large, I highly recommend going with GateFX. This is one of the brokers we highly suggest in trading in our community with Trade with Solo, as the spreads are really good. The leverage goes up to 1 to 1,000, and it gives you freedom to trade with a 100% deposit bonus. So if you deposit anything from 1,000 or above, or even lower than that, they will match it up to 100%. This gives you a lot of leverage to really scale an account, as you see what we did here. Mainly on the left side, you probably can't see it as much, but 90% of these trades are oil trades, and there's only 2 trades that are 30 trades. But these are the trades that I actually like to trade. If you were to see anything else, it might be GJ. But I'm just showing you guys this because I want you to understand the importance of consistency long term and not short term. So shift your mind from short term to long term, and you will start seeing better results. Here's the way to trade oil. New York opening from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Central Time. Best setups ever. The trigger is a few, but this is one of the best. Look at the prior day's highs and lows and pre-market levels. Oil almost always sweeps one side during New York before choosing its direction. Now, like I said, this happens quite often, but not all the time. And this is why I highly suggest you guys subscribing to this channel so I can break down more videos of other entry models for oil and all the other that we trade. Next is confirmation. You want to wait for it to retrace to the 44% Fibonacci into a valid POI level, which is known as imbalance or liquidity zone, and then enter only when a strong power candle known as an engulfing candle closes through the 9 EMA. Here's some of the confluences we need to be paying attention to. Previous daily liquidity levels, That's one. Two, fib retracement needs to match within 44 to the 618. And then the EMA momentum confirmation. And then the volume alignment with New York news or inventory releases, which happens every Wednesday. Now for the exit model, quite simple. All you need is 20 pips. If you want to scale up, you can extend it to your Fibonacci level, which is the negative 0.618, which will give you more. I'll always suggest go for a 1 to 2. Me personally, I get in 2 trades. I let one go to 1 to 1 and the final to 1 to 3, which just helps me maximize as much as I can. Now, if you look here, this is the reality check with all of the assets I just mentioned. Gold, yes, you can catch at least solidly 150 to 250 pips, but best sessions is any time to trade it, but it really does blow accounts. Now with GBP yen, you're realistically able to do 120 to 80 pips you can catch in a session consistent. Best time is definitely London or New York. This is known as a session scalper asset. For oil, easily 200, 300 points. New York opening is the best window to trade it, but this is the consistent builder. And then 30, you can catch 3 to 500 pips, which I like trading a lot. New York cash opening is the go time for this, and it is the most highest profitability setups for scalpers. So if it was up to me, the ones I would choose would be these two here, because in my personal opinion, these are the ones that's going to be consistent for me. I know with 30, I can make a lot more money short term, but with 30, if I stay with this plan, it can also be consistent with less spikes. With oil, I know it's not as volatile like 30, but with precise and execution of how I go about it, I can make a lot more money with oil. And that is why I'd rather choose these two. Also, GJ is a perfect asset for those that is looking to trade London and also New York. So other than that, if you want to tune into what we got going on, you can tune into tradewithsolo.com, get into our community. On top of that, if you want to sign up with the broker we use, Gates FX, and also get into our community for free, you can go that route as well. Deposit at least $250 plus, and then send that proof to joinsolo network@gmail.com, and we'll get you in our community. Other than that, I appreciate you. Your boy Solo. Peace.